Why does thriving as a woman instantly make you due for a baby? That's one thing I don't understand. Today, I'm exposing how the society weaponizes motherhood to clip your wings, and especially how you as a woman can fight back. Stay tuned. Hi, I'm Miss Wangui Muithathi, your personal finance and investment coach. And today we are talking about the raw truth that motherhood isn't the enemy. Patriarchy is. Welcome back to my channel. Some of the things I'll be covering are how tradition pressures derails your dreams, the real trap, lack of systemic support, and reclaiming your autonomy through radical self-care. First, let's talk about tradition as a Trojan horse. This is the narrative that people have that every woman should want to have kids or children to be fulfilled. And this is why, as a woman, you walk around and you'll hear people asking you weird questions like, when will you settle down? When will you have children? And you're wasting your youth. I don't understand why people assume that you don't know what you're doing. How family and friends, even colleagues, they come and approach you often with loving intentions just to reinforce the message. It beats me. And to be honest, I hate it. I'm not among the people or the ladies who don't have children, but I am a mother of one. Regardless of that, I still find people who feel the need to advise me to have another child. And I think to myself, that meeting that they held by themselves and they decided that's good for me based on their decisions, for me it doesn't make any sense. And this is where you just feel like telling someone, keep your opinions to yourself. People are not stupid out here. Women are not stupid. We all know what we want at the end of the day. But this is not just about love and babies. Remember, it's about power. Because most of the people who tell you to have another child, they are the opposite gender. So it's about power. Let's unpack the real trap. So the true trap is, of course, systemic failure. For instance, you'll find some companies that don't have paid parental leave and, of course, sky-high childcare costs. And even if, for instance, you decide to have a baby, is this a career kill or a career make move? Because you ask yourself questions like, who bears the cost of daycare, doctor's visits, or even sleepless nights? I bet you 95% it's the woman. Okay? You also have to check the data point. Like in many countries, women lose 20 to 30% of their lifetime earnings to caregiving. So you see, the problem really isn't about motherhood. It's the system's refusal to support you. Okay? There's also instances, you've had instances where men, because it's men who impregnate women, they are not responsible for their actions. They abscond their duties. So the woman ends up doing everything for this child, putting everything on the line. And these are the same men, after they've seen you toil to raise a child, they'll come and tell you to add another child. They will shamelessly tell you that you need to have another child. Oh, I don't think you need to have one child. You need to add another child. Oh, I don't think it's right that you're 30 or above 30 years and you don't have a child. That's lack of respect for me. Anyway, how do we fight back? You have to take self-care as rebellion. As a woman, you need to redefine self-care, meaning it has to be beyond things like bubble baths, going for a massage, okay? and focus on things like legal rights, financial planning, and boundary setting. So, if you want children, plan financially and advocate for workplace reforms. Some workplaces can accommodate you, but not all. But if you do not want children, you have to stonewall the guilt learn scripts. You know, those things they say to guilt trip you so you feel bad because you don't have children or because you don't have enough children. You gotta stonewall these people. You know, you can say something simple like, thank you, but I've chosen my path. But that's you choosing to be nice. You don't have to be nice because most people, when they approach you about this topic, they don't care about your feelings. As a matter of fact, I think they just want you to feel like either you're late in life or there's just something that you're doing wrong. So you can choose to be nice with your response, or you can just go all out and be just merciless. Be cold towards them. Because it's none of their business in the first place. Okay? If they are married and they have 5 children, they didn't consult you, you didn't advise them. So why do they feel the need to come and advise you? This is where you tell someone, mind your own business. Okay? Tell someone, mind the business that feeds you and leave me alone. And if the only topic you want to discuss with me is about me having more children, then avoid me at all costs. Leave me alone. Okay? And this is sad because this topic especially is brought up when a woman is making it in life, when things are going well. All of a sudden, people feel like they need to talk to you about that. Don't allow such people in your space, okay? Because they're trying to suck the joy out of you. They're trying to make you feel like you're not supposed to be here. Even though you're on the same table seated with us, there's something you're supposed to be doing that you're not. So don't indulge such people. When they see a woman thrive, they want motherhood to slow her down. So you need to be able to smell this from a distance. Okay? Remember, autonomy isn't selfish. It's survival. And we live in a man-eat-man world. So you need to know how you will survive as a woman. And just because you know how to survive, it doesn't mean you're a bad person. It means you deserve it. Okay? Know yourself. And once you know yourself, you become powerful. And that intimidates a lot of people. But that should not be your problem. Here are some tactical takeaways. You have to know your rights. Do your research, both nationally, locally, on things like parental leave laws. Also build your village. You do this by finding mentors. These are women who have a balanced or women who simply have rejected motherhood. This is where you told find your people. Okay? Because together you become strong. Also, fund your freedom. Start automating your savings and investments. Mastermind your emergency fund for childcare or life changes. You might decide that you want to have a child eventually. Okay? So come correct on that. And finally, learn to speak your truth. Okay? The same way people don't care about your feelings, you shouldn't bother about theirs when you're speaking your truth. Role play, push back lines for friends, family, partners, and even bosses. Stay in your lane, I stay on my lane. Let's not cross each other's boundaries. In conclusion, your life is not a ledger for other people to balance. So do well to burn that script that they handed you, because only you decide when, how, or even if motherhood fits into your story. Okay? No one else has that power, and don't give anybody that power. Okay? Because this is your life, this is your body, this is you. So take care of yourself. Be careful about the people you surround yourself with. And be careful about conversations that you tolerate. Because if you're not careful at the end of the day, your life will be affected, your finances will be affected, your career will be affected, And all this, if you've not planned yourself, will be affected negatively. So take care of yourself, take care of your money, take care of your life, because all that is in your hands. I am Miss Wangui Muithathi, your personal finance and investment coach, and I'll see you in my next video.